Thank you for joining me today as I start the challenge of spreading love and protection for all our kids. And let's see how many hearts we can touch together. As I play my intro, please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so.
Feel the rhythm when you hold me tight. Love is dancing in the neon light. Every touch, every move you make tells a story, no words to say. No need to question, no need to hide. I see the truth when I look in your eyes. Through the highs and through the lows, your love's the only song I know. Love seen and heard in the way we groove. Every heartbeat, every mood. In your arms I'll find my world. This is love seen and heard. We don't need a melody to sing. You and I, we got our own swing. Even in silence, I hear your soul. A love so deep, it makes me whole. Turn it up, let the world feel the sound. Love so loud, can't turn it down. No more searching, no more doubt. This is what real love's about. Love seen and heard in the way we grew. Every heartbeat, every mood. In your arms I find my world. This is love seen and heard.
Every child deserves a safe and nurturing environment where they can grow and thrive. It's a fundamental right that should be guaranteed to every single child, no matter their background or circumstances. Unfortunately, though, that is not the case, and that's why we need to talk about it. Children today are faced with a multitude of challenges that leave them vulnerable and alone. Many are victims of neglect, physical and or emotional abuse, and the lack of emotional support can be just as damaging. Some children are forced to grow up too quickly, taking on adult responsibilities. Now let's discuss some of the heartbreaking statistics that I found. According to the National Library of Medicine, which was last updated on May 29, 2023, it states that approximately 1 in 4 children experience child abuse or neglect in their lifetime. It also states that 18% are abused physically, 17% are neglected, and 9% are abused sexually. The fatality rate for children mistreatment is 2.2 per 1,000 children annually, making homicide the second leading cause of death in children younger than age 1. Exposure to violence during childhood can have lifelong health consequences, including poor physical, emotional, and mental health. These are interesting statistics, but there's more. According to PTSD, National Center for PTSD, studies show that about 15% to 43% of girls and 14% to 43% of boys go through at least one trauma in their lifetime. And of those children and teens who have had a trauma, 3% to 15% of girls and 1% to 6% of boys develop PTSD. Heartbreaking statistics. But as we see in the news every day, there are more and more victims of children who have succumbed to these abuses. It's so hurtful to see this happening today in 2025. So just think about it. There are kids living in a state of constant fear, never knowing when the next blow will come or when they'll be abandoned again. The scars of abuse and neglect can be deep and long lasting, affecting a child's self esteem, their ability to form healthy relationships, and even their academic performance. It's a heavy burden for a child to carry, and it's our responsibility as a society to ensure that they are protected and supported. This is a passion project of mine to make sure that people are aware of how children endure a lot of traumatic experiences, and sometimes we're right there. It's right under our noses. How do I know? Because as I mentioned before, that was my life as a child. See, growing up in a household where I'm the oldest, I'm given responsibilities at a young age to handle before my time. Being left alone because my mother had to work and I was a latchkey kid when my abuser was not around. But under her nose, on a regular basis, I suffered the traumatic causes of abuse in my life almost every day. Now, yes, this is not about me, but I feel like it is about me because every time I'm on social media and I hear these different stories about children abused, it breaks my heart because I know what they're going through, what they went through, the fear you have, the uncertainty of security, and feeling as though you're unwanted, unloved, and that you don't even matter in life. So, what's interesting about this is each time I hear one of these stories, and you hear people who were around the children who are now unalived, the stories seem to be the same. They were a great child. In school, they caused no problems. We enjoyed them. They had the best personalities. The parents or the guardians will say, I didn't have a lot of problems with them, just the usual childlike things that I would have to discipline them for. No, they would never leave or run away or do this or do that. It's so funny when I hear that because I was that child. That's why I can speak on it. See, when I walked out my door, I was a whole different person. I wasn't that scared little kid that I was at home because school was a safe haven for me. I could be me. At home, I was under rules and regulations that was sometimes so critical and so difficult for me to hold up to that I didn't know which way to go. No, this is not a bashing session of my mom or who she was, but it's my truth of how I lived. And of course, people in my family, they see it differently because I didn't experience it. So when you don't experience certain things, it's hard for you to grasp exactly what a person goes through who experience neglect, abuse in all the three different ways, or who succumb to the worst. Now, fortunately, I was not unalived. However, my life showed a pattern of the traumas that I suffered. So I'm asking you, as my audience, pay attention. Who do you see around you? Those children. In your own childhood, if you wasn't a child of trauma, did you know somebody who was? Can you think back of a girl or a boy that now that you know what the signs and symptoms are, that you can affirmatively say, yes, they were abused? Or maybe they wasn't um, treated well at home, or maybe their parents was neglective, or whatever the case may be. Think back. And also, the people you know now, the children that you see on a regular basis, whether they're your own children, your grandchildren, your nieces, nephews, children in the neighborhood, children at your children's school, whatever the case may be, have you noticed some signs? See, because that's what it takes for us to change this problem that we have in our society, in our community. And sometimes, if it's not happening to us, we tend to say, oh, that's sad. I hate that for them. And we don't do anything. Now it's time for us as adults to take care of our children. So, as we talk about the cycle of pain and suffering that we need to break, it starts with acknowledging the magnitude of the problem and taking action to prevent it. The good news is there's hope. It starts with us. By providing a loving and nurturing environment, we can help kids to heal and thrive even in the face of adversity. We can be their safe haven that they need, the listening ear that validates their feelings, and the supportive hand that guides them through a bright future. And then there's more. We can make a difference by acknowledging the importance of love and protection in a child's life. We need to recognize the signs of abuse and neglect and speak out against them. We need to support organizations and initiatives that are working hard to provide safe havens for our children. And we need to start the conversation like this one to raise awareness and spark change. And on YouTube, there's multiple content creators who are discussing, bringing awareness to this ongoing problem, especially now that we're seeing so many of our young ones unalive on a regular basis. And I will put some of those content creators' names that I look at on a regular basis in my comments below or in the description box. Every child deserves a childhood filled with love, laughter, and adventure. They deserve to feel safe, to be seen, and to feel heard. So let us start today to spread love and protection far and wide and to create a world where every kid can thrive. Thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you're passionate about child advocacy and support, come back to Love Seen and Heard. We'll have this conversation in more detail again.
When you hold me tight, love is dancing in the neon light. Every touch, every move you make tells a story, no words to say. No need to question, no need to hide. I see the truth when I look in your eyes. Through the highs and through the lows, your love's the only song I know. Love seen and heard.